I'm the op black group. Man, I've been in the street all 14 years old. I'm out the street, getting them at the music, ain't going nowhere on everything.
Mobile 911, what's your emergency?
Somebody done got shot at. You hear me?
When police arrived, they found a car hit with the oo-wop and a man expired. When detectives arrived, they recognized him as Antonio Rowe Jr., 26 years old, born in Mobile. He was a rising star in the rap scene. He leaves behind his parents, 7 siblings, and a 5-month-old daughter. 6 months ago, Antonio and his cousin were hit with the oo-wop at a gas station. He was hit 3 times. Rogers investigated Antonio's stepfather's case when he was hit with the oo-wop and expired in a bad deal. Now he's leading Antonio's case. So they find the oo-wop by Antonio and 17 .223 casings on the scene. Money on the ground inside the vehicle was loud.
That's what he was selling.
Ooh, that's that stinking.
And a phone. 2 of the detectives spoke to the 911 caller. She looked out the window and saw the victim and a guy in a tan jacket talking by a blue Suburban. The oo-wop went off and the Suburban sped off. And the guy in the tan jacket with the oo-wop on his side started running backwards. Patrols stopped him when they arrived, took him to the station. They found a home on the scene with video cameras, so they tried to get footage from there. So they wrapped that scene up, head to the station, look up the Op Ragu on social media, checking for leads. Then they start interviewing the guy police stopped.
We pull up on the street. Now I parked behind the truck. What kind of? It was like an old ass Suburban, bro. Yeah, y'all got the car. Next thing I just hear, do.
They asked who was Yayo. He said Antonio. He looked up and a guy had something long. He hopped out the car and ran. So Rogers asked, was Yayo going to buy or sell? He said Yayo was going to get some drink. And he was talking to the guy on the phone. So Rogers asked, was this a lick? He said no. So they wrap that interview up, get their neighbor video footage, and all you see is the blue Suburban pull down, turn around, and head back up. You couldn't get a plate number or anything. Then they get a break. The neighbor who gave them the video showed it to someone else, and he recognized the vehicle and called detectives and said George Green Jr. is the guy who drives it. He's 24 years old with no priors. So Rogers called the tipster and asked can he get George to come talk to them. He texts Rogers an address where George would meet in 20 minutes. They head over to meet George, and he's a no-show. Then the tipster tell Rogers George is over his cousin Nathaniel's house. So now they head to that address. Come up empty again.
Hey, he wasn't there. Man, if he reach out to you, just hit me up. All right.
So the next day, they get word that George is back at his cousin's house. So they head back over there. They have a team to just watch the house from a distance. They record someone coming out of the home and start burning items. So they approach the home, snatch George and Nathaniel up, take them to the interrogation room. Tipster called and said George said the oo-wop was in the vent. So detectives head to get a search warrant to hit the house, while Rogers start interviewing Nathaniel. He says he doesn't want to talk. So they wrap that up, heading there to talk to George. Rogers asked him about his day. He said that he was home all day playing a game.
Okay, now you in here acting a fool. You sitting here smiling, laughing, rocking back and forth in that damn chair like you don't know what's going on.
Then Rogers asked him, are there any oo-wops in the house? Because we're searching everything. George said no. Then George says that someone took the truck that day. He was trying to get some loud, and they took it from him. So he didn't even have the truck that day. Then the team searching the house text Rogers saying they found the oo-wop in the vent. So now George says he wants to start over. Now he states that he was going to serve Ragu some loud. He walks up towards him, asks where's it at, pull the oo-wop, then he pull out his oo-wop, and he let loose. So they asked him who was driving the truck when you got in. He stated Nate. They asked where's the truck at. He says he got rid of it. So they end that interview, contact the DA to get M warrants for George and Nathaniel. Nathaniel was charged with intentional M and is currently awaiting trial. George was also charged with intentional M and is currently awaiting trial. Leave me some comments, hit that like button, hit that thanks button for me. Stay safe out there. I'm done talking.
Use your life trying to protect your cousin. They think you're not a street person. You go to work and come home and play video games all day. George got street knowledge. He's a hustler. He'll be in the street.